I think the short answer is, of course, people are going to go back to movies when they can. What everybody forgets when they look at this issue is that there's a narrative that is constantly being put out there that cinema attendance is declining. 2019 was the biggest year for movies in box office terms. It was a very healthy year for attendance. They always trot out this, the average ticket price is pushed up and that offsets declines. It's not true. The average ticket price of a movie in 2019 was $8.40. In 1977, it was $9.10. It's just, these things aren't true. A very, very healthy movie-going culture in the world and in America in particular, but it's dependent on the movies. So when, like in 2019, when you have some really anticipated movies coming out that are absolutely huge and overperform, then you see growth and it all looks great. When you have a year when maybe the movies aren't quite as rewarding for people, then it goes down. So long term, I think everybody in the business understands that long term people are going to want to go back to movie theaters. The question is how you get there. All I hear these days is, can exhibition survive these awful circumstances? And I'm beginning to feel like the question isn't, can exhibition survive? It's, can the studio survive? Because it really is about trying to manage corporate expectations and Wall Street expectations of how you move into the future without throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I'm not seeing a huge amount of leadership or skill in terms of parsing that out. And I'm speaking as somebody who has earned most of the money that I've ever earned in my career has been in home video and been with respect to streaming, DVD, Blu-ray, back to VHS. And, I've spent years of my life in intense discussions with the people who manage home video on how to best do that and how to best make that work in concert with the theatrical release. Always hearing that the wide window, for example, between the theatrical campaign and the home video release is a problem. We've always fought for the widest possible window, not because we were doing that as any kind of favor to exhibition, but because our home video made more money that way. You don't throw everything out to everybody at once and say, you wanted it, here you got it. Every other industry, every other marketing department in the world, they understand that it's all about supply and demand and controlling that. You put out the hardback edition and then you wait before you put out the paperback edition, et cetera, et cetera. It's basic economics. And the only thing that's really stopped that being apparent to Hollywood is that the theaters wouldn't necessarily let them do it. Now that the theaters don't have the leverage because they've had to close for the pandemic, I'm not proud that my industry is then holding a gun to their heads and saying, now we'll take what we want. But that equation, that the gun that's to exhibition's head is going to be put back in the drawer sometime next year, and then everything will change again.